You can make this with literally just 2 sticks and some thread, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to start, even if you've never knitted before. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If knitting has ever felt confusing or intimidating, I completely get it. All the tools, all the terms, it can feel like you need to learn everything before you even start, but the truth is, knitting is actually so much simpler than it looks. And also it's a little bit magical, because somehow you take a strand of yarn, 2 needles, and you turn it into something that you can actually wear. That still blows my mind every time, and it's one of the most relaxing, rewarding things that you can learn. So today I'll walk you through everything you need to start in the simplest, most beginner-friendly way possible. Let's go. So first, let's start with what you would need, and let's start with needles. I recommend to start with circular needles, and specifically interchangeable circular needles. This is what I personally use. So they come with different needle sizes, and that means how thick or how thin your needles look. And also you can get different cable lengths. So instead of buying tons of needles, you just switch the tips out. It's honestly the most flexible option, especially long term. And in general, circular needles are amazing because everything you can do with straight needles, you can do with circular needles, but not everything you can do with circular needles, you can do with straight needles. With circular needles, you can basically knit flat and in a round. They're also more comfortable in your hands. When you're holding a circular needle, your project is also going to be sitting on the cord, so you don't have to hold the weight all the time. While when you have the straight needles, the whole weight of the project is sitting on that needle, and you actually have to hold it all the time when you have to move the needle to knit. So they are just more comfortable in your hands, and they hold your project more easily. So even if they look a little bit unusual at first, they are 100% worth it. If you're starting, I would go for 5mm needles and a 60cm cable. That would be a very nice beginner-friendly setup. Now let's talk about yarn. I feel this is where people usually get stuck, and I get it. There's so many different weights of yarn. That means how thick or thin the yarn is. There are many different materials that you can select from, and it can feel that you're supposed to understand all of it right off the bat. But to simplify it, when you go to the store and you're wondering which yarn to purchase and you have already your 5mm needles, look for the yarn label, and they usually have the recommended needle size. Sometimes they even have a little icon with the needles. So that's exactly what you want to follow as a beginner. If it says from 4 to 5mm needles, then that's the place to be. And because there is a huge range of materials that yarns are made of, don't feel like you need to go for the most expensive one. You're just learning, so your first projects are allowed to be a little bit messy, and actually that's part of the charm. So how knitting actually works. Knitting is something that you learn by doing, not by memorizing. You don't need to understand everything right now, you just need to start, and you will see that your hands will figure it out as you go. Everything in knitting comes down to 2 stitches, knit and purl. And every pattern you see or every shape is just a variation of these 2. So once you start practicing them, you are already knitting. So what to learn first? You would just need to focus on the basics. Casting on, that means getting the yarn onto your needles. Then the knit and the purl stitches. Ribbing, that means combining the knit and the purl stitches in the same row to create some texture. Picking up stitches, casting off, so you can actually finish your project and get it off your needles. And simple increases and decreases. And that's more than enough to make real wearable pieces. You don't need anything else to begin with. Let's see those techniques in action. Let's start with the cast on. I'm gonna show you the long tail cast on, but there are many other different ways to cast on your yarn onto your needles. So first we need to leave some yarn in the beginning. Then we tie a slip knot. We place it on your needle. And now you're gonna start wrapping the yarn like this. So place your fingers like this, turn them around, and now you will grab the yarn from the thumb and then the one from the index finger and pull through. I'll show you again. So we have the yarn like this, grab the yarn from the thumb, then from the index finger and pull through. I'm gonna be knitting flat, and I'm gonna do a swatch with the different techniques that I showed you before. So now we will need to turn our work around, and we're gonna do a row of purls. So I'm gonna show you the purl stitch first, and then I will show you the knit stitch. To purl, you will insert the right hand needle from back to front into the first stitch like this, and then grab the yarn and wrap it around the needle. Then pull through and pull off the left needle. Let's do it again. We insert the tip of the needle, wrap the yarn, and pull off. Now that I got to the end of the row, I'm gonna turn my work again, and let's go to the knit stitch. Now we will be inserting our needle from front to back into the first stitch. We wrap the yarn around the tip of the needle, we pull through and off the needle. Again, from front to back, wrap the yarn around, pull through and pull off the needle. Now I'm going to show you how to do the ribbing. That means alternating knits and purls. And I'm going to do a 1 by 1 rib. That means 1 knit, 1 purl, 1 knit, 1 purl, and so on throughout that row. So we are starting with 1 knit stitch. So front to back, and now purl. For the purls, we need to take the yarn in the front. And we do a purl stitch. Then a knit. And a purl. I'm going to show you holding the yarn in my right hand. So a knit and a purl. Now you can clearly see which are knits and purl stitches. So the ones with the bump will be a purl, and the ones without it, it's a knit. So you know which one comes next. If you're doing a ribbing sequence, this one has the bump, it's the last one that we made. So now we need to make a knit stitch. So we bring the yarn to the back and we knit. Bring it to the front and we purl. In this example, as you can see, we're knitting flat. That means that we are turning our work every time that we get to the end of the row. We need to turn to do the next row. And now you will see that what previously was a knit stitch or a purl stitch is inverted in the back side of our work. We ended up here with a knit stitch, but now we have a bump. So we need to treat this as a purl stitch. So we bring the yarn to the front, insert the needle back to front, and continue with the series, but now in an inverted way. If you keep working the ribbing sequence one by one, you will start having this kind of texture. It's a bit more stretchy. Now I'm going to show you the two most common decreases. Which one you have to do would depend on the pattern. The first one would be the knit two together. So knit two together is just as the name indicates. Instead of knitting just one stitch, we will knit two at the same time. And now those two stitches are turned into one. Now I'm going to show you the other decrease, that's the slip knit passover. And as the name indicates, we will slip the first stitch, then knit the next one. And now the previous stitch that we slipped, we pass it over the second one. And now those two stitches are turned into one. And now to increase, we're going to be working with this bar over here. There's also two most commonly known techniques to increase. In one, you will lift this bar in the middle, insert your left needle from front to back, and now you will knit the stitch from the back leg of that stitch that you lifted. So you insert it from the back there. Wrap the yarn around and pull through. I will show you again. So you lift this bar, insert the left needle from front to back, and you knit this stitch from the back leg, like so. Now I'm going to show you the other increase. It is the same, but instead of lifting this bar from front to back, we will do back to front. And we knit this stitch from the front leg. So this one there, like so. Wrap the yarn around and pull through. Let's see this one again. So we lift the bar in between the stitches. We insert the left needle from back to front. And we knit through the front leg of that newly made stitch. Wrap the yarn around and pull through. And now let's cast off. That means taking the yarn off our needles and closing up our project. So to do that, you will need to knit the first 2 stitches. And now you will lift the first one over the second one and off the needle. So now you reduced by 1 stitch. This one is already off your needles. Let's do one more. So you need 1 more stitch and the previous knitted one. You lift it over the second and off the needle. And you just keep going like that throughout your row. So you need 1 and the previous one, you lift it and take it off the needles. Now when you have the last one, just do the same again. You will cut your yarn and then pull the yarn through that loop. Tighten it up. And we're done. And let's pick up some stitches. Let's say that your pattern says that now you need to pick up stitches along this edge of the project. So I'm gonna do it with a different colored yarn so you can see it easier. And what you would do is just insert your needle at the edge of the work. Grab your yarn and wrap it around the tip. And you pull through. Then insert the needle again with that same yarn. Wrap it around the tip and pull through. And as you see, you're starting to get some stitches on your needles. And you will be picking up however many stitches the pattern says that you need to have in this edge of your work, trying always to make them evenly spaced and inserting your needle from front to back next to the edge, wrapping the yarn around the tip and pulling through. Also, let's briefly talk about imperfection. You will make mistakes, and I will actually recommend you to make them because that's how you learn. Every dropped stitch or every weird row or twisted stitch, it's all part of building that muscle memory and also to know what looks right from wrong. Now, how to hold your yarn. Once you have all the materials, you will see that there are different ways to hold your yarn. Some people hold the yarn on their left hand or on the right hand. The most typical ones are the English style or the Continental style. But there is no correct one. Try both ways, experiment and see what feels right for you. And over time, your hands will settle into their own natural rhythm. So it will just click. So let's talk about some projects. Once you know the basics, the best way to improve is to actually make something. If you want a place to start, I have 2 beginner-friendly tutorials and free patterns. One is the Carmen Balaclava and also the sorbet scarf. In the video tutorials, you can also see the step-by-step techniques so you can knit along with me and create your own garment. They're simple, they're fun, and they're designed to help you build confidence step by step. So if you've been thinking about learning how to knit, this is your sign. Start small, be patient with yourself, and just enjoy the process. Because I promise you, one day your hands will know exactly what to do, and that's the best feeling.